Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about different types of intravenous fluids. They are isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic intravenous fluids. So we will discuss what is the normal body water and what is osmosis and homeostasis, what is tonicity. Coming to the normal body water. Total body water constitutes 60% of the body weight. That means, for example, if you take a 70 kg human being, 42 kgs of that 70 kg is nothing but water. Total body water is nothing but combination of intracellular fluid, that is the fluid present inside the cell, and extracellular fluid, that is total body water is equal to ICF plus ECF. So what is the proportion of these ICF and ECF? 2/3 of the proportion is contributed by the intracellular fluid and 1/3 of the proportion is constituted by the extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid means the fluid which is present outside the cell. Extracellular fluid includes interstitial fluid and blood plasma. Interstitial fluid is the fluid present in between the cells. Intracellular fluid is the fluid which is present inside the cell. Extracellular fluid is the fluid which is present outside the cell. Extracellular fluid includes interstitial fluid which is present in between the cells and also the plasma which is present in the blood. Next, coming to the osmosis. Osmosis is nothing but movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane. It is called as semi-permeable membrane because it allows the movement of water only. It does not allow the movement of other solutes. So, where this water moves? The water moves from a lower concentration gradient to a higher concentration gradient. Why the water moves? The water moves to maintain the concentration equally on the both sides of the semi-permeable membrane. A solution with a higher concentration gradient contains high amount of solute and less amount of water. That a solution with a lower concentration contains less amount of solutes and more amount of water. And water moves from a place where there is higher amount of water to a place where there is lower amount of water. In other terms, osmosis is nothing but diffusion of water. Next, coming to the homeostasis. What is homeostasis? Normally, the blood plasma doesn't move anywhere. It stays in the blood vessel only. Other fluids like interstitial fluid, that is the fluid present in between the cells, and intracellular fluid, that is the fluid present in the cell, these fluids also do not move anywhere. That means there is no fluid shift, no cell shrinkage, that is no decrease in the size of the cell, and there is no cell swelling, that is there is no increase in the size of the cell. Next, coming to the tonicity. Tonicity is measured as osmolarity. Normal tonicity or normal plasma osmolarity is between 280 and 290 milliosmoles per liter. The fluids which contain the osmolarity between 250 and 375 milliosmoles per liter are called as isotonic fluids. Iso means same, that is the concentration of that fluid is same as that of plasma. And the fluids which contain the osmolarity less than 250 milliosmoles per liter are called as hypotonic fluids. hypo means less. That means less osmolarity or less concentration than the plasma. The fluids which contain the osmolarity more than 375 milliosmoles per liter are called as hypertonic fluids. Hyper means more. That means the osmolarity or the concentration of that fluid is more than that of plasma. Isotonic fluids. The concentration or the solutes present in the isotonic fluid is same as that of plasma, and also the water content present in the isotonic fluid is also same as that of plasma. So after the infusion of these isotonic fluids into the blood vessel, they do not move anywhere. They will stay in the plasma only. That means no fluid shift is seen. Hypotonic fluids. The concentration or solutes present in the hypotonic fluids is less than that of plasma. So you know that if concentration is less means water content should be more. So hypotonic fluids contain more water content than the plasma. So as we know, the water moves from a place where there is more amount of water to a place where there is less amount of water. So after infusion of these hypotonic fluids into the blood vessel, the water moves into the cells and into the interstitial fluid where there is comparatively less amount of water. And next, coming to the hypertonic fluids. Hyper means more. That means the concentration or the solutes present in the hypertonic fluid is more than that of plasma. You know, if the concentration is more, the water content should be less. So the hypertonic fluids contain less amount of water than that of plasma. So after the infusion of these hypertonic fluids into the blood vessel, the water moves into the plasma from the cells. Coming to the isotonic fluids. Iso means same. That is, the concentration or the solutes present in the isotonic fluids is same as that of plasma, and also water content is same as that of plasma. As the water content is same, the infused fluid do not move anywhere. It stays in the plasma only. No fluid shift occurs. Cell swelling and cell shrinkage doesn't occur. That means the cell size remains normal even after infusion of these fluids. Osmolarity of these fluids is almost same as that of blood plasma. Examples for the isotonic fluids are 0.9% normal saline, RL that is ringer lactate, 5% dextrose that is 5D, 5% albumin, plasma lite A and isolite P. 5% dextrose is isotonic in the bag or in the bottle. Once it reaches the blood vessel, it becomes hypotonic. I have discussed the composition of these IV fluids in the previous video. You can refer it. Each 100 ml of the plasma lite A fluid contains sodium 14 milliequivalents, chloride 9.8 milliequivalents, potassium 0.5 milliequivalents, magnesium 0.3 milliequivalents, acetate 2.7 milliequivalents, gluconate 2.3 milliequivalents, energy 2.1 kilocalories, and osmolarity 295 milliosmoles per liter. So now we will see what occurs if an isotonic fluid is infused into a blood vessel. Once the isotonic fluid reaches the plasma, as the isotonic fluid contains the same amount of water as that of plasma, it doesn't move anywhere. It remains in the plasma only. So the size of the cell remains normal. Neither swelling nor shrinkage occurs. So why do we want the entire infused fluid to stay in the blood vessel only? In some conditions like trauma, diarrhea, etc., the plasma volume is lost. So these fluids are used in these conditions which require the replacement of plasma volume. For example, hypovolemia. Hypovolemia can occur in trauma and diarrhea, etc. These fluids are used to replace the volume that is lost. As these fluids stay in the plasma itself and do not move anywhere, large volume administration and rapid infusion of these fluids can cause fluid overload, which results in hypervolemia and pulmonary edema. So what are the some basic precautions that to be taken while infusing these fluids? As normal saline contains more amount of sodium, it can be avoided in hypertensive patients and hypernatremia patients. And Ringer's lactate should be used cautiously in liver disease and renal patients. Isolite P should not be given in hyponatremia and renal patients. Coming to the hypotonic fluids. Hypo means less. That means the concentration or the solutes present in the hypotonic fluid is less than that of plasma. As the concentration is less, the water content should be more. So the water content is more than that of plasma. As water content is more, they are nothing but the diluted fluids. So the water moves out of the plasma to other places where there is comparatively less amount of water, that is into the interstitial fluid and intracellular fluid. And so as the fluid enters the cell, the volume of the cell increases and the size of the cell increases. It causes swelling of the cell. Examples for the hypotonic fluids are half normal saline, also known as 0.45% normal saline, 1/3 normal saline, 1/4 normal saline, 1/5 normal saline, and 5% dextrose. As we already discussed, this 5% dextrose is isotonic in the bottle. Once it reaches the blood plasma, all the glucose or sugar present in the 5% dextrose is utilized by the cells and it becomes hypotonic. So we have taken 5% dextrose as an example of hypotonic fluid infusion. Once the fluid is infused into the blood vessel, as hypotonic fluid means it contains more amount of water than that of plasma. So it moves from a place where there is more amount of water to a place where there is less amount of water. That means it moves from the plasma into interstitial fluid and then into the cell. As a result, the volume of the cell is increased and size of the cell is increased. Swelling of the cell occurs. So why do we want the volume of the cell to be increased, or why do we want the cell to be swollen? In conditions like cellular dehydration, the cells are already shrunken. So infusion of these fluids restores the volume of cells. Cellular dehydration is seen in hypernatremia, hyperglycemic hyperosmolar non-ketotic coma, diabetic ketoacidosis, diuretic overdosage, hypertonic dehydration, that is dehydration caused due to the overusage of hypertonic IV fluids. And also they are used in gastric loss and conditions which require slow rehydration. Coming to the precautions that should be taken while infusing these hypotonic fluids. These fluids should be infused slowly because rapid infusion causes cerebral edema and raised intracranial pressure, because the fluid moves from the plasma into the cell and causes swelling of the cell. As a result, cerebral edema and raised ICP occurs. Hypovolemia should be looked during infusion because the fluid moves away from the plasma. So the plasma volume is decreased and so hypovolemia can occur. So hypovolemia should be checked during hypotonic fluids infusion. If it is present, the fluids should be stopped. Hypotonic fluids should be avoided in liver disease, trauma and burns. As we know, in trauma and burns, hypovolemia occurs. So we require rapid rehydration. But it is not possible with hypotonic fluids. So they are not useful in these conditions. They are also not useful in other conditions which require rapid rehydration. The hypertonic fluids. Hyper means more, that is, the concentration or the solutes present in these hypertonic fluids is more than that of plasma. As concentration is more, the water content should be less. So the water content is less than that of plasma. So they are called as concentrated fluids or thick fluids. As they contain less amount of water, the water moves from the intracellular fluid into the interstitial fluid and then into the plasma. Because relatively there is more water inside the cells. As the fluid is moving out of the cell, the volume of the cell is decreased, and so the size of the cell is decreased. That means shrinking of the cell occurs. Examples for the hypertonic fluids are 3% and 5% normal saline, dextrose normal saline, that is DNS, half DNS, 10%, 25% and 50% dextrose, mannitol, 20% albumin. So now we will see what occurs if a hypertonic fluid is infused into the blood vessel. As it is a hypertonic solution, that means concentration is more and water content is less. Once it enters the plasma, the fluid from the cells is shifted into the plasma. As the fluid from the cells is shifted, the size of the cell is decreased and volume of the cell is decreased. That is, shrinking of the cells occurs. So why do we want the cell size to be decreased, or why do we want the cells to be shrunken? In cerebral edema or raised intracranial pressure, the cells are already swollen. So infusion of these fluids causes the fluid to shift from the cell into the interstitial fluid and then into the plasma, which results in decrease in the volume of the cell, and thus the size of the cell decreases and the cerebral edema is decreased. So they are used in cerebral edema or raised intracranial pressure, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, hypovolemia, peritoneal dialysis and peritonitis. Coming to the precautions that to be taken while using these fluids. These fluids should be infused slowly because rapid infusion can cause cellular dehydration and fluid overload, that means hypervolemia. As the fluid is shifted from the cells into the plasma, the cellular fluid is decreased. That means cellular dehydration can occur. As all the fluid enters the plasma, plasma volume is increased. That means fluid overload occurs. And the dextrose containing fluids can cause hyperglycemia. So friends, this is about isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic IV fluids. In the next video, we will discuss the individual IV fluids. If you like this video, please share it to your friends. If you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.